Hi, everybody. I think I'm live. You could let me know. That would be great. I'm going to start in just a couple minutes here. So, welcome. Thanks for joining in today for some gentle yoga. Um, my name is Lisa. I am the Domestic Abuse Program Coordinator at CASDA in Superior, Wisconsin. I am also a certified yoga teacher in Hatha yoga, Shambhava yoga, Kundalini meditation, and trauma informed yoga. So, since COVID, we are not doing anything in person. And I know that, like the rest of the world, a lot of people are really struggling right now with living at home constantly and really never going many places, and not seeing the people that you normally see and going into your workplace and those kinds of things. So everybody needs some relaxation and some ways to reduce stress by using some holistic options and tools. So that's what we're going to do in this class. It's going to be anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, and it's going to be very gentle, very beginner. I will use some language that is authentic to yoga, but I will also use the English version as well. So you will get to know the terms if you continue to keep coming to the practice with me. Um, a little bit about me. I've been teaching for 8 years now. I've been practicing for 10, and it has been truly a gift in my life. Um, at the time that I started, I had 6 kids at home, and it was very busy, and I didn't really do anything for myself. So when I found yoga, it was really a gift, and I knew that I would teach it someday because I really fell in love with it and how it made me feel. So there's a lot of misconceptions about yoga in the United States, especially. It's not about being skinny and wearing the right yoga pants or the right Lululemon wear or, standing on your head. Um, Yoga is about self acceptance, and trauma informed yoga is about self regulation. So, um, getting out of our heads and into our bodies, which sometimes can be a scary place, especially if you've experienced trauma in your life, which we all have to some degree. So, you know, what I would suggest is during the practice today, you don't have to, even be looking at me. I mean, maybe for some cues, but I'll be pretty verbal with what I'm asking, and I just really want you to make sure that you're comfortable in in your own body and in your own mind, and just give it a try. If it's something new, just try to have an open mind. Usually, when I teach a class, I generally say, try to leave your worries and your troubles. Maybe I usually say out in the parking lot or behind the doors, but we're all virtual now. So maybe the space that you're in, think about kind of setting those worries and those troubles just aside in another space. Um, and try not to judge yourself too much if you wander off a lot or if you have random thoughts that are interrupting the practice. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just getting comfortable with something new. So if that's what it is for you, that's okay. The other thing is, I'm going to ask that you can choose where you'd like to sit. You can either sit on the floor or you can sit in a chair. I'm going to teach the poses either way. So whatever's more comfortable for you, it works both ways, and I will give lots of options for that as well. So does anybody have any questions before we start at all? If you do, you can certainly put a comment and I can take a look here. I think this is where I read them. And I just want to give a humongous shout out to my coworker Desi, who is awesome, and she helped me with the technology. today, and I probably wouldn't be on right now without her, or I'd be on my little phone, which would be much worse. So thank you, Desi, for doing that today. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to read the comments. Let me see. Well, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll figure that out by next class. But I think we're just going to begin now. So just find a comfortable seat, and that could be you could be sitting in your recliner, or you could be in a chair, or sitting in your car right now, or if you're sitting on a mat, maybe you're on the floor. Wherever you are is where you are. I think I'm going to lower this a little bit like that. Okay, there we go. That's good. All right, so um, find that comfortable seat. Maybe take your shoulders and roll them up, back and down. And I always just try to begin class, just put a smile on your face, whether you've done yoga 1,000 times or this is your very first time. Let's just send all those good endorphins to our brain. Just get started that way. And then just sitting in this seat, I just want to begin by just asking you to kind of look around the space that you're in. In my space, there's lots of color, lots of texture, lots of shapes, dullness, brightness. Just kind of look around the area that you're in and just notice. Just kind of orientate yourself to the space around you. And then just coming back, bringing your head back into the center. We're just going to kind of hold on to our elbows here and bring your elbows into your body. And then if it feels good to you, just kind of up your arms to your shoulders, give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. We're all lacking in that hug category. I know I am. I attack my sons all the time with hugs, and I definitely miss seeing people and hugging my friends on a regular basis. So just give yourself a little squeeze, kind of finding that center. And then if it feels okay, you can allow your hands to rest in your lap comfortably. And now at this point, we're just going to begin what's called pratyahara in yoga, and it's just about restraining your senses. So this can be done one of two ways. You don't have to close your eyes if that makes you uncomfortable. You can softly gaze, it's called, just maybe find an object in the room that you can just softly look at. So it's not a hard stare, it's just a nice soft gaze. Or if you're comfortable, you can allow your eyes to close gently. Okay. And then just begin to find that center within yourself. And what I mean by center is just kind of connect with your body. Just take a moment and scan. So, starting at the top of your head, just scan down your head through your face. Notice your jaw if it's relaxed. Maybe swallow in the throat, relax the throat. And notice if your shoulders are kind of scrunched up to your ears. And just relax them down and back. And just let this scan kind of go through the torso of your body, your back, your hips, and your pelvis. And then it rolls into your thighs, down your knees, into your calves, your ankles, your feet, and all 10 of your toes, just noticing and scanning the body, just noticing areas that feel tension, maybe discomfort, maybe shortness, choppiness. And then notice areas that might feel loose and relaxed, that might feel good to you today. kind of orientating yourself with the body. And then I just want you to take a moment to check in with your mind. Where is your mind today? You may have what we call in yoga a monkey mind, where the thoughts are racing in and out. There's worry, there's fear, there's stress and anxiety, there's reoccurring thoughts, those repetitive thoughts, guilt, shame, whatever it is, just notice. So I generally try to teach, if you think about the thoughts going through your mind like a train moving by, and during the practice, each time your mind wanders off somewhere to, what you're having for lunch today, or maybe a stress or a problem that you've got going right now, maybe you have grief that you're dealing with, whatever it is, just notice and then come back to the breath or come back to my voice. So take that thought or that emotion that comes in and just kind of toss it. Just toss it on the train. Let it go by. And if you have to do that 10,000 times during this time that we have together today, so be it. That's okay. It's fine. It's a practice. That's why they call it that. So just notice. Notice your mind. Notice if emotions are going through the mind, or judgment, or criticism of yourself, or this, what's happening, any of those things. They're just thoughts. So we have to remember that we're not our thoughts, but our thoughts are creating our reality. And then last, I just like you to check in with spirit and whatever that means to you. It's not about religion, it's just really about your connection to the divine, whatever that is. So maybe that's God, maybe that's the divine, maybe that's the universe, maybe it's atheism, whatever it is, just your connection. Because yoga is about unity, so it's about connecting mind, body, spirit. And spirit is your soul, is your place where your authenticity is. It's not that ego mind. It's where your gifts lie. And so that ultimate goal of yoga is self-acceptance in this moment, not who you used to be or who you want to be in the future, who you are now in this moment. So then just taking your left hand, if it feels okay to you, and placing it over your chest, over your heart. And then taking your right hand and placing it right over your navel. And either eyes closed or open, it makes no difference. Just begin to take your first deep breath, inhaling through your nose, and maybe we'll count up to about 4 doing this. So inhaling to 4, the belly rises, and then we exhale maybe 4 to 1, and the belly falls. And when the belly falls, we can kind of draw our navel toward our spine. So we inhale, the belly rises, and then we exhale, the belly falls. So this is also called a wave of breath. And if this feels forced or choppy, or you're like, I can't do this, I can't count to 4 on an inhale, do what feels best in your body. Maybe you go to 2 or 3 or 6. I'm here to guide you, but the practice and the teacher is within you. So again, take a nice deep inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, the belly falls. Let's just do a few more of those. And if the mind has already wandered off to some random thought or a physical sensation, Just notice, come back to the breath. One more inhale and exhale. And then just releasing any awareness to the breath. We'll bring the hands into the heart space. So this is called Anjali Mudra. We're going to inhale together and bring our arms up to the sky. So we're pointing our fingertips towards the sky. And then we're going to exhale, bring your left hand down to the earth, your right arm up and over. Really want to keep both of your buns on the floor. So you're not tipping over, you're staying both on the floor. So your sit bones are connecting. And we're opening up that right side of the body. So we're inhaling and sending the breath through here. Now inhale, bring that left arm up, reach up to the center and really lift your ribs off of your waist as you reach, and then exhale over to the right. Now we're opening up that left side of the body. So notice if you've stopped breathing or if you've held your breath or if you're breathing more shallow now in the chest. If so, just kind of deepen the breath a little bit. And then inhale back up to center. Exhale again over to the left. And notice if the second one might feel a little bit better than the first. Allow the breath to flow. And then inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. Nice deep breaths. And then inhale back to center. Reach your fingertips. Exhale over to the left. Now this time, pretend like you're unscrewing a light bulb with your hand. So you're kind of turning your shoulder in a circle. So you're really wrapping your shoulder around your rib cage. See how that feels in the body. And then inhale back up to center. Reach up. Exhale over to the right. And try that little light bulb trick. Just slowly turning the light bulb. Notice if this side feels any different than the other. Generally, there's a little more tension on one side of the body than the other. And if you notice that you're kind of still in your head with lots of thoughts, just notice that. And try to stay with your awareness to the breath. And then inhale back up to center. And then exhale, bring the hands back down to Anjali Mudra. Smile. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then we're going to take a nice deep inhale again. And as we exhale, let's just bring our chins down to our chest. So there is hypervigilance energy in the neck and the shoulders. And it's just another one of those things with COVID. We've been doing a lot more Zoom meetings, phone work, anything where we're kind of staring at a screen or looking down. So we really need to stretch out our necks and our shoulders and really make sure that we're being kind to that area. And then we're going to inhale and bring your chin up towards the sky. So we're stretching out the front of our neck. Now, if you have neck issues and this doesn't serve you, please don't do it. You can stay right here in the center and you could be turning your head right and left. Or you could just be staying in center and staying with your breath. Choose your practice. If you're in the movement of the asana, which is pose, you're inhaling up and you're exhaling down. Now, next time you bring your chin down to your chest, let's stay here for a moment. And then we're going to inhale and sweep our chin over to our left shoulder. Then take your right ear and tip it towards your right shoulder. And then take your left shoulder and roll it up, back, and down. So now we're opening up this left side of the neck and the shoulder. So if you're a visual person and if you can actually visualize in your mind, the side of your neck is breathing, right? We're sending our breath into the tension. And then when the tension breaks, it breaks into thousands of little pieces maybe. Maybe it slides off your shoulder onto the floor. It's really releasing what's no longer serving you. And take that shoulder and roll it up, back, and down one more time. Take 3 more full breaths here. And then on that next exhalation, sweep your chin all the way back down to your chest, nice and slow. Just take a moment to check in. Notice your mind. Notice the body, any differences from that right side of the neck to the left. Just notice, come into this moment. And then on your next inhalation, sweep your chin over to that right shoulder. Exhale your left ear to your left shoulder. And take your right shoulder and roll it up, back, and down. And really send your breath into those crevices wherever there's places that need more space, more oxygen going into those muscles. Take that shoulder again, roll it up, back, and down one more time. Take 3 more nice deep breaths, really seeing that tension rolling down the neck, off the shoulder, and onto the floor. And then on your next exhalation, slowly sweep your chin all the way back down to your chest. Inhale your head up to center. And then we're going to bring the hands again into Anjali Mudra. We're going to inhale up. And then we're going to exhale. And when we exhale, we're going to turn to the left. We're going to come into what's called a twist. So our arms are up. We're going to release them now down to the floor or your lap if you're sitting in a chair. And then I just want you to look over your left shoulder. So you're sitting up nice and tall. You have a long spine, and the crown of your head is reaching up for the sky or the divine. Your sit bones are connected to the earth. You have a tall, long, healthy spine, and you're looking behind you as far as you can see. Allow the breath to roll up and down the spine. And then on your next inhalation, go ahead and roll your arms back up. Exhale, come back to center. Release your arms down to your sides. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And again, let's take another nice deep breath up. Exhale over to your right, into your twist. Release your arms. Nice tall spine, reach the crown of your head for the sky, and then look over your right shoulder. See how far you can see behind you. Sending that breath along the spine if that feels good to you. And then on the next inhalation, bring the arms back up. Exhale back to center. Release your arms. Roll your shoulders. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope? All right. So the next thing we're going to do is called cat and cow, and we can do this a variety of ways. Depends on what you would like to do. I'm going to teach it today just from a seated position, just because this is a beginner's class. But if you're well established or been doing yoga a while, you can go into tabletop and do your cat and cows. You can do this in the chair or on the floor, makes no difference. But how we're going to begin is we're going to roll the shoulders, really opening up the chest here. Hands can be placed in your lap. And as you inhale, we're kind of bringing the chin up slightly, soft neck, soft throat, and we're inhaling fully into the chest. And then as you exhale, curl your tailbone under, tuck your chin towards your chest, and draw your navel towards your spine as your shoulders come forward into cat. And then inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. So try that breath that we did in the beginning, that diaphragmatic breathing, that inhale maybe to 4, and the exhaling 4 to 1. Really drawing the navel toward the spine. And then go at your own pace, because we all breathe a little bit differently. Just breathing, inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. And go ahead and do one more in each direction. Come back to that neutral spine. Just take a moment to check in, notice how you're feeling. Check in with the mind, the body. Everybody's doing well, I hope. All right. So what we're going to do next is just a little bit of Kundalini. So this is working on the chakras, and that's a whole nother story, a whole nother class. But what we're going to do, either seated on the floor or again in the chair, it can work both ways. What we're going to do is, when I teach yoga, I try to express to you, when you're moving, allow the breath to follow. So, allow the breath to be your guide. So as you breathe, then the movement follows the breath. So we're going to make some circles like we're a little top on the floor, right? Or in your chair. So we're going to just allow our breath to guide us. So your circles might be really tiny. They might be right here. It might just feel good to do little tiny circles. And it might feel good to do really deep circles, okay? So I want you to do what feels best in your body. But allow the breath to guide you. So we're not holding the breath, breathing choppier, trying to allow this smooth breath to flow. And choose whatever direction feels good to you, because we'll eventually switch and we'll reverse the direction. And then go ahead and switch sides and see what comes up when you switch. Maybe a physical sensation comes up, maybe a thought, an emotion. I remember when I heard the first time someone talking about crying on their yoga mat, I remember thinking, why would you cry on your yoga mat? This is like an exercise class, right? Well, yoga is much more than exercise. There's 8 limbs to yoga, and the poses or the asanas are just one of those limbs. There's a lot more to it, and a lot of emotion is stored in the body. Come back to center. So when we store these emotions in our body, the hips are one really common place for emotion to rest and manifest. So that's why sometimes emotions can come up in this practice, tears can come up, and just allow it to happen. That's the best advice I can give because your body is trying to release something that needs to be released because it's no longer serving you. Okay? All right. So what we're going to do next is if you're able to stand, you can go ahead and stand. And if not, that's okay too. You can certainly do this from the chair. But I'm going to stand because I think well, maybe I won't. I don't know if you'll be able to see me if I stand. Maybe I'll just be right on my knees because I think you can choose to stand or not, but I don't have the camera set up right. So I'm just going to be on my knees here. We're going to do something called a French press. It's a breath technique. And what I want you to think about is just anything in your life that's maybe bothering you right now. It could be something very slight. Could be the clerk at Quick Trip was a jerk to you this morning, or someone in traffic was flipped you the bird, or you got in a fight with your husband this morning, or whatever it is. Kind of gather up that stuff, right? And what we're going to do is an energy technique, a breathwork technique. We're going to inhale and we're going to make a big circle of all that stuff, right, that we don't want anymore. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to kind of push it out like a French press, right? We're going to inhale and then exhale. And if you want to make noise with that, you're at home or wherever you are, go ahead and make some noise. Let it out through what's called a cleansing breath in yoga. You may want to just be like, something like that. Or if you want to make a sound effect, or maybe you don't want to make any noise at all. Do what serves you. So let's just begin with that. Let's make a nice big circle, kind of really use your muscles a little bit. This big circle of junk, right? And then exhale. Let's try that again. Inhale, big circle up. Down. A couple more. Inhale up. One more. Inhale up. And then just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And only if you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close for a moment. Not softly gaze at your object in the room. Take a moment just to check in with yourself. Notice any judgments that have come up or critical thoughts, worries or fears. I'm going to toss those on the train for right now and let them go by. Bring yourself back into this moment. And how we're going to end class today is another limb of yoga, or not a limb of yoga, but another part of yoga called Shavasana. And it's simply called corpse pose. So famous yogis from years gone by, because this is such an ancient practice, will say that Shavasana is the most difficult pose for the busy mind. So if you have a monkey mind and you've got thoughts everywhere and judgments and stuff rolling, that's okay. That is really okay. You can't quiet your mind. Your mind is always creating. You're sleeping, when you're awake, it doesn't matter. It's always creating. So in Shavasana, just let your thoughts go wherever they'd like. If they become negative or thoughts that you don't want, send them away for now. This is your time. We're going to take about 2 to 3 minutes with this. So if you're sitting in a chair, allow your eyes to close if you're comfortable with that. And if not, you can find that soft gaze on an object in the room. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through a relaxation while you're in Shavasana. I want you to just begin with your toes and bring your awareness to your feet. And what I'd like you to do, if you're able, is just kind of flex your feet and flex your calves and your quads. So you're kind of holding those muscles nice and tight right now. Keep holding. And then relax. And when you relax the muscle, think about kind of the muscles just releasing the bones, like you're just turning into a puddle or a bowl of jello. And then I want you to squeeze your glutes and squeeze your abs and really hold that tension. Feel your core shake a little bit, maybe. And then release. When you release, just again allow everything to pool. Now squeeze your hands, make fists with your hands, squeeze your forearms, your deltoids, your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, your pecs. Hold all that tension. Feel how strong you are. And then release. And just allow your shoulders to roll back. Give them permission to relax. Notice your hands. If you're still holding on to some tension, just relax your hands. Now I want you to scrunch up your face and wiggle your nose and wrinkle your forehead. Blow your cheeks out. Notice all the intricate muscles in the face. And then relax. Relax your face. Allow your tongue to lay on the bottom of your mouth as you release your jaw. Again, swallowing, relaxing the throat. And then allow the inner corners of your eyes to relax backward. Allow the outer corners of your eyes to be wide. And then allow the center of your eyes to relax as if they were hollow. You have nothing to do and nowhere to be. You're exactly where you should be in this moment. So over the next couple of minutes, just allow your mind to wander. Allow your body to relax if possible and just be in this moment. You will hear my voice come back in at the end of Shavasana, and I will bring you back into the space around you. But for now, allow yourself to just be. Ever so gently begin to bring your awareness back into your body, into the space around you. Maybe just gently wiggling your fingers and toes. If your eyes are closed, you can begin to gently open them, bring a little bit of light back in. When you feel ready, you can bring your hands into the heart space if it serves you. I am very passionate about teaching authentic yoga, and Namaste has, again, a lot of misconceptions. What its definition is, or one of its definitions, is what I learned at Shoshani in Rollinsville, Colorado, where I took my Shambhava yoga training. And this definition is: the highest potential in me loves and respects the highest potential in you. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. I will be on every Friday on the CASDA Facebook page from 11 a.m. until the 30 to 60 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed that today. I apologize if I can't answer any questions. I'll give it a little try again and see if I can figure it out. It says to view insights, but then when I view, nothing doesn't show me anything. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Yep, you're welcome. I hope everybody enjoyed this so much today. Hope you have a peaceful weekend.